Hey guys, it's that TCAT, and today we're going to be doing some painting. I've got my canvas, paints, brushes, and a few other necessities, and we're going to see what happens. So today I intend to paint a sunset silhouette of a palm tree, and just kind of show you guys how that works. I usually don't paint with the camera over my shoulder, so we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully I don't bump it or anything like that. If I do, I apologize in advance. So, the first thing I generally like to do with this particular technique is take a brush, like so, something about 1 inch or so thick. I really like to show the stroke in the background. So, I've got my red, orange, and yellow, which are going to make very great, vibrant colors for our sunset. And we're just going to kind of paint and see what happens. So get some red going here. For some reason I like to start at the top and just kind of work my way down into the lighter colors. So I usually don't do too much of the red. Most of what I apply is probably orange and then the yellow, but the red definitely is needed up at the top. I'm going to go ahead and start working into some orange here. If you have any questions about the exact colors I'm using on this painting, you can comment or message me about that. Now I kind of just start by laying in some colors before I really get into the blending process. And like I said, orange is kind of one of the main ones. I'm going to re-dip a little bit of red and come back in and kind of bring this down just a tad. Now notice, now I'm starting to vary my strokes as far as direction goes. I feel that this gives it a more visually appealing look. Now I'm back in my orange, and I'm going to kind of blend this in a little more, bringing that red down just a tad into the orange space. Do a little bit more orange in here in the midground. Okay. I generally like to give kind of an arch to it, but you don't have to. I'm going to start working in some yellow. Yellow is really hard not to blend right off the bat because the orange is so overpowering. You kind of have to immediately start blending it. Now if you started with the yellow, that would be a little different. I like, as I mentioned, I like my strokes very visible. I like to leave the remnants of, I'm gonna get a lot of yellow here now. I like to leave a lot of the remnants of the previous color I'm blending and not blend it completely smooth. But that's up to you. People can do that if you want. I'm getting pretty happy with the way this looks. And I generally don't even come all the way down to the bottom, but I am going to add a little more yellow because my orange is very overpowering. I don't think I've done these paintings with these particular colors. So add in a little more yellow down here towards the bottom. And I'm going to switch kind of back up to my orange up here and just bring that out a little more, alternating some orange and yellow. These don't have to be perfect because in the background it's not really the main focus, but it definitely works to have the strokes and have it visually appealing and kind of have that texture to it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this dry and we'll come right back to that. Okay, so we're back. It's dry, and we're ready to move on and paint our silhouette palm tree. So, it starts off really easy. I'm going to give us some ground here for a palm tree to stand on. I'm actually going to overlap with our skyline that we created, our sunset. Now notice, this isn't perfect. Just like with the sunset itself, I make it a point to show that I am using a paintbrush. Leave some strokes, and actually just not, I don't really care about making really perfect lines or straight lines. To me, in this case in particular, it really just adds to the aesthetics of the painting. All right. And then once I've gone over and I've made sure that I've got no white left, I've overlapped pretty much everywhere, I'm going to go ahead and begin with the base of the palm tree. So I'm going to add that, which is pretty simple. Just make this little mound easy enough. Okay, now I'm going to take more of a detail brush, and I'm going to begin making the shape for our palm tree. I'm actually just going to kind of make a line here for the way I want my palm tree to go. One of my favorite things about silhouettes is that it showcases just how remarkable the human brain is in recognizing images based off the simplest information. Just the most basic information gives us everything that we need to identify. In this case, I'm not using any coloring for the palm tree. I'm not using any sort of shading or line detail or anything. Just a simple shadow cast on a night or a sunset sky, and that's all we're going to need to identify it. So once I've got my overall shape down, I'm definitely going to be adding to this as we go on. But once I've got it down, start kind of skinny at the top and widen it out as we go down to the bottom. I'm trying really careful not to block this with my shoulder. I don't know how good I'm doing at that. I guess we'll see. Now for the palm tree, I do take a little more time to refine the edges, just a little, because it's the focus of our piece. So once I have the body of the palm tree, or the trunk, I'm going to add kind of an oval shape to the end here, kind of like a Q-tip. And then once I have that, I'm going to start building the fronds. So the fronds, if you can see from that angle, I'm just going to bring them out and then down, almost like you're drawing like insect legs. And they all kind of have different lengths and sizes. And you can space them out in varying amounts. Make sure you get a few nice big ones at the top there. kind of starting to see the shape building up. Okay, then I'm just going to actually thicken these out with some kind of uneven underlines. And the reason why they kind of go up and down and are uneven is to add to kind of the realism of it, which we'll showcase a little later. A little more there. And now you should really be starting to see the shape of the palm tree coming out. Although we've got a ways to go before we're finished. Okay, so once I have that, I'm going to take my brush and I'm actually going to add a couple more items here. We're going to have these little shoots that come off at varying angles. And you can have them kind of sticking out here and there. Bring some down. And throw in another one here. And one more there. Okay. And then, just got a little bit further to go. I'm going to switch to an even thinner brush, more detail. I'm going to do the final step to our palm tree, which is going to be these little fingers that come down for the fronds. Kind of like a comb. And this is why, the reason because that we did the uneven underlines is because if you just kept them really straight, you would see it have a very unnatural look to it. And every once in a while you just kind of crisscross them because they're not all perfectly straight coming out. And I always wipe the excess paint off the brush so that I can maintain the detail, the level of detail that I want. And you just keep on going, continue with all of those, all of the fronds, fill them out. For the record, I don't care too much for this particular black I'm using. It's kind of, it's not quite the consistency that I want. I could probably help that with a little bit of water, but we'll just go with it since I've already gone so far with it as it is. This is one of the more tedious parts, but for the sake of not having an extremely long video. I'm kind of going over it quickly. You can take as much time as you want on these to really fill them out and you know, make sure it has that natural look and not the manufactured look. That's just about done. Got a few more down here. And a few more over here. And there you have it. A palm tree silhouette sunset. There it is. Something really simple. You can do it, each one can be completely different. And you can do multiple palm trees. You can do a whole beach scene with silhouettes of people and surfboards and umbrellas and all kinds of things. But see how easy that was? Really simple. So thanks for watching my video. As with all my paintings, you'll be able to find them online, or I do for this very painting right here, it's going to be placed on eBay along with others like it and other pieces that I've done. The starting bid is going to be $1. So if you're interested in owning this piece, check it out. I'll have a link posted below. Alright, thanks for watching and see you next time.